In this video, we're going to do the KutaSoftware Infinite Algebra 1 one-step inequalities worksheet. We're going to do the front side of this worksheet, or the first page of this worksheet, in this video, and then we'll do the second page or back side in the next video. So it says to solve each inequality and graph its solution. In number 1, we have negative 12 is greater than x minus 7. We're going to treat this like an equation, and when we solve, whatever we do to the left, we do to the right, and vice versa. Whatever we do to the right, we do to the left. So we want to isolate this variable x. We'll have negative 12 is greater than x minus 7. To isolate the x, we're going to add a 7 to both sides. And that first line, I just rewrote the equation so I can show all my work underneath. Negative 12 plus 7 is going to be negative 5. And that is greater than x. So in order to graph the inequality, we're going to find negative 5 on the number line, which will be between negative 4 and negative 6. Here is negative 5. We're going to circle it, and we're not going to fill it in because we have that negative 5 is greater than x. So x cannot be equal to negative 5, but x is everything that's less than that negative 5. So x is everything to the left of negative 5. So go ahead and shade in everything to the left. Let's go on to number 2. We have negative 1 plus r is greater than or equal to 4. Solving the inequality, we're going to add 1 to both sides, and we'll have r is greater than or equal to 5. So that's our new inequality once that inequality is solved, and let's go ahead and graph that. First, we're going to locate 5, go ahead and circle it, and we're also going to fill it in because r can be equal to 5. And r is greater than or equal to 5, so it's going to be shading in everything to the right. On to number 3. N minus 6 is less than or equal to negative 14. We're going to add 6 to both sides of the inequality to get n by itself, so we isolated that n. So now that our variable is isolated, that n is less than or equal to negative 14 plus 6 is a negative 8. Now that we've solved the inequality, let's go ahead and graph it. Locate the negative 8, circle it, and we're going to fill it in as well since n can be equal to that negative 8. N is less than or equal to that negative 8, so we're shading in everything to the left. Number 4, b minus 7 is less than negative 12. I'll go ahead and rewrite that, and then we're going to start by adding 7 to both sides. When we add 7 to both sides, we're left with b is less than negative 12 plus 7 is going to be a negative 5. Now that we've solved that inequality, let's go ahead and graph. Circle the negative 5, and we're going to leave it open. So leave an open circle, meaning don't shade it in, because b cannot be equal to negative 5. And it says that b is less than negative 5, so that's going to be everything to the left. Number 5, a minus 17 is greater than negative 16. Add 17 to both sides to isolate the a, so we're left with a is greater than a positive 1. A is greater than positive 1 is a solution to our inequality, so we're going to go ahead and circle 1, leave it open, so don't fill it in, since a cannot be equal to 1, and a is greater than that 1, so it's everything to the right. Number 6, 15 plus x is less than or equal to 0. All we have to do for this one is subtract the 15 from both sides. When we subtract the 15 from both sides, we'll get that x is less than or equal to negative 15. We're going to locate negative 15, circle it, and we're going to shade it in since x can be equal to negative 15, and we're going to shade in everything to the left since x is less than or equal to that negative 15. Number 7, 3 plus v is less than or equal to negative 9. Start by subtracting 3 from both sides you'll be left with 0 plus v, which is v, less than or equal to negative 9 minus 3 is a negative 12. So v is less than or equal to negative 12. Graphing that, we're going to circle and shade in the negative 12, and v is less than or equal to that negative 12, so we're shading in everything to the left. For number 8, we have 8 is greater than or equal to n minus 6. Adding a 6 to both sides to get that n by itself will leave us with 14 is greater than or equal to n. Now, we'll just have to graph that inequality. Locate the 14 on the number line, circle it and shade it in since n can be equal to 14. And since 14 is greater than or equal to n, 14 is the maximum value of n. So we're going to shade in everything to the left of 14 since 14 is the maximum value. Number 9, negative 3x is greater than 3. This is slightly different because now we have our variable with a coefficient, so it's being multiplied to a number. In this case, that number is the negative 3. So we're going to divide both sides by a negative 3. But note that whenever you multiply or divide by any negative number, you're going to have to switch the sign. And what I mean by switching the sign is I mean that greater than sign will become a less than sign. So negative 3x divided by negative 3 is a positive x, and a 3 divided by negative 3 is a negative 1. So, as opposed to having negative 3x greater than 3, that inequality is equivalent to x is less than negative 1. Let's go ahead and graph x is less than negative 1. Locate the negative 1. Do not shade it in, since x cannot be equal to negative 1, but it's less than negative 1, so we're shading everything to the left. For number 10, n divided by 3 is greater than 3. We're going to solve this by multiplying by 3 over 1, or simply a 3 to isolate that n. That will leave us with n greater than 9 as our inequality. When we graph that, we will circle the 9 and not shade it in, and n is greater than that 9, so it's going to be everything to the right. Number 11, k divided by 4 is less than negative 4. We're going to multiply by 4 over 1 in order to get k divided by 1, which is k, and that's going to be less than. Since we're not multiplying by a negative number, we keep the inequality oriented the same way, and whatever we do to the left, we have to do to the right, so multiply by 4 over 1, or positive 4 on the right, to get negative 16. K is less than negative 16 is our inequality, so we're going to find the negative 16, circle it, but don't shade it in, since k is not less than or equal to it, it's just less than negative 16, so let's go ahead and shade to the left. And let's go into number 12, which will be the last problem in this video. In the next video, we'll go ahead and finish out this worksheet by doing the second page. But for now, before we move on any further, please go ahead and like my video, and while you're at it, click that subscribe button as well. That way you'll be updated when I come out with new videos. Negative 9x is greater than or equal to negative 90. We're going to start by dividing by a negative 9. And since we're dividing by a negative number, remember we're going to have to switch that inequality sign. So we're going to have a positive x is less than or equal to, since the original was greater than or equal to, negative 90 divided by negative 9 is a positive 10. So x is less than or equal to 10 is the solution for our inequality. Now we're going to graph it. X is less than or equal to 10, so find the 10, shade it in, and then shade in everything to the left. And that finishes up this video. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions. In this video, we're going to finish the worksheet for one-step inequalities under the Infinite Algebra 1 tab in KutaSoftware free worksheets. I'll leave a link in the description below so you know how to access that. For number 13, we're going to start by dividing by 7. When we divide by 7, we'll get that 0 is greater than or equal to 1n, which is simply n. 0 is greater than or equal to n, so we're going to circle the 0, shaded in since n can be equal to 0, and we're going to shade everything to the left since 0 is the maximum value for n. Moving on to number 14, we have m divided by 5 is greater than or equal to negative 5. Multiply both sides by 5 over 1, which is the whole number 5, to get that m is greater than or equal to negative 25. M is greater than or equal to negative 25 is the solution to that inequality, and we're going to go ahead and graph that now. Circle and shade in the negative 25 since m is greater than or equal to negative 25, and since m is greater than or equal to negative 25, it's going to be everything to the right. Number 15, negative 13x is less than negative 156. Start off by dividing by a negative 13, and remember, since you're dividing by a negative, you're going to have to switch this inequality around. So go ahead and flip that to get x is greater than negative 156 divided by negative 13 is a positive 12. Circle the 12, but don't shade it in, and x is greater than that 12, so it's everything to the right. Number 16, we have 32 is greater than or equal to negative 16p. When you divide both sides by a negative 16, you're going to have to switch this inequality sign since you're dividing by a negative number. When we do that, we'll get that negative 2 is less than or equal to p. If you want to, you can rewrite this and say that p is greater than or equal to negative 2 if you prefer your variable on the left-hand side. Either is correct. So what we're going to do is we're going to circle and fill in that negative 2 and then shade in everything to the right since p is greater than or equal to negative 2. Number 17, we have negative 8 is greater than v minus 3. For this, we're simply going to add a positive 3 to both sides to get that negative 5 is greater than v. And again, if you'd like to rewrite that, you can simply say that v is less than negative 5. Just remember when you're rewriting to keep the inequality sign pointing or facing the correct way. Notice that the tip is pointed towards the v, or the one vertice is pointed towards the v, and the 2 points open up to the negative 5. So I've done the same over on the right hand side. V is less than negative 5. Go ahead, circle negative 5, and then don't fill it in, but shade everything to the left since v is less than negative 5. 18, we have 11 is less than or equal to 5 plus x. Subtract 5 from both sides to get that 6 is less than or equal to a positive x. Again, if you wanted to rewrite this, you could say that x is greater than or equal to a positive 6, but it is not necessary. Go ahead, locate the 6, circle, shade it in, and then shade everything to the right of that 6, since x is greater than or equal to 6. Number 19, we have 25 is greater than or equal to n plus 13. For this one, we're just going to subtract 13 from both sides. In doing so, 25 minus 13 leaves us with 12 is greater than or equal to n. 12 is greater than or equal to n, or you can say that n is less than or equal to 12. Either way is correct. So we're going to locate the 12, circle, shade it in, and 12 is the maximum that n can be, so we're going to shade in everything to the left. For number 20, we have negative 168 is greater than negative 12a. In this problem, we're dividing by a negative, more specifically a negative 12, so we know we're going to have to flip the inequality. Negative 168 divided by negative 12 is a positive 14. Switching the inequality, we're going to have 14 is less than a. You could also write this as a is greater than 14. Either is correct. Just remember to keep the sign oriented the correct way. So a is greater than 14. We're going to find that 14 and then shade in everything to the right, leaving the 14 open. Number 21, negative 3 is less than or equal to x minus 4. Add 4 to both sides to get that a positive 1 is less than or equal to x, or again, you can rewrite this as x is greater than or equal to positive 1. And when graphing this, you're going to circle the 1, shade it in, and then shade in everything to the right, since x is greater than or equal to 1. 22, or divided by 3, is greater than 6. Multiply both sides by 3 over 1, which is the whole number 3. When doing so, we'll get r divided by 1, which is r, and that's going to be greater than 6 times 3, which is 18. When we're graphing this, we're going to circle the 18 and shade in everything to the right, leaving that 18 unfilled. Since r is not greater than or equal to 18, r is only greater than 18. 23, 12n is greater than or equal to 84. Do this by dividing by 12 to isolate that n. When we divide by 12, we get that n is greater than or equal to 7. Since 7 times 12 equals that 84. When graphing, we're going to circle and fill in that 7 and then shade in everything to the right as well, since n is greater than or equal to 7. And finally, the last problem, number 24. We have negative 22 is greater than negative 10 plus b. Go ahead and add a positive 10 to both sides, so the 10s will cancel out to be 0, so you're left with b plus 0, which is b, and negative 22 plus 10 is a negative 12. So our inequality is negative 12 is greater than b. So when we graph this, go ahead, circle that negative 12. Don't fill it in though, since b is not equal to that negative 12. But since negative 12 is the maximum number, we're going to shade in everything to the left, since negative 12 is greater than all of the b values. And that wraps it up for our one-step inequality worksheet. Go ahead and like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. All subscriptions and likes are greatly appreciated.